inside my head. See voices behind the wall, uplifting the underdog. We fighting above the law.
Hey y'all. Okay. Hey everyone. Hey. Let me pull the chat up here on my phone. Charm, why are you not blue? And I'm gonna have to sorry, but it's already going quick. So I'm going to slow chat down just a little more. Again, it actually will help the mods be able to control better and helps me be able to see the chat a lot better instead of it just speeding by. And give me a second here. Okay. Hold up a minute. Switch account. Okay. All right, here we go. Oh, nope, that's wrong. Gosh darn it. Hi, babe.
Hello. How y'all doing?
I'm slowing chat down more.
Okay.
I don't know. What the fuck? Somebody else was already in here. Okay, so slow chat is on, you guys. So, no, you're not blocked, but I have it on 90 seconds. So if you chat, some of y'all know how it goes. 90 seconds. In between comments. Hurry up and open it. Okay. Fuck me. I had this all changed the other day. I want to pull the chat up. Okay, how is everyone? Hey, Show. Hey, JD. Hey, Natasha. Hey, Nomi. Hey, Chief B.
Chief B.
See, it's still jumping quick. Hey, Susan. Hey, Dalen. Hey, Callie. Small Town, New York. Sam I Am. Benny B. Kane. Been gone for a bit. Yeah, I was. It might be, might not be. At this point, I don't even know what to say anymore, you guys. It's just annoying. Hey, cotton candy boobs. So what I'm gonna start out with saying is, because a lot of other people have regurgitated this over and over for the past couple days, and I have not. I have not felt well, and also it's like annoying. It's really annoying what is happening. Everything. It's all annoying. Hey, cotton candy boobs. Hey, Moonshadow. Hey Darzilla. So I have not been feeling well because I changed my hormone treatment, and every single side effect listed I have been dealing with. So it's been a mess, but I feel better today. Hopefully it will continue. Hey, Chaos Queen. Hey, Lori M. All right, so what I'm going to say first of all, hey, everyone. See, look at it. Just like breaking out. This is actually better than I've been looking. But the whole waiting 48 hours bullshit, I was actually looking that up in the YouTube terms of service. He has put that out publicly, so if I really wanted to stream that tonight, I would. However, there's nothing worth, I think, even pulling up. We'll go over the notes. Can you grab the other notebooks?
There's another notebook?
There's 3 of them that we've been writing in. I'll grab them.
Okay, yeah, I don't know where the other ones are. But yeah, we got a few pages of notes. And yeah, I guess he's still live. I don't know if Jose's still on there with them or not. I don't think so, but
Okay, so like there's no rules of waiting 48 hours and all of that mess, so it is what it is. When he puts it up there, I mean, you can use it with the, fair use and all of that. So we may pull some of that up there if he really wants to try and strike people. Just so you know, I found out it's not gonna work. He can try and strike people, but that goes against. He has put it up there, and there's fair use. Not only that, if you notice from the first interview, I don't know who all watched the first one, but he has actually edited out the hot mic moment. And this is supposed to be about Summer Wells, not about my channel's gonna grow bigger tonight and like don't talk about Summer for 48 hours. We're supposed to be in the true crime trying to help, and it's supposed to be about Summer, not about Justin or Justice for All's channel growing from 3,000 to over 11,000. Now, congratulations for that. But when you have a hot mic moment that you've now deleted out saying, this is going to be it, this is going to be the big one, and then you say, wait 48 hours, you're clearly not in this about Summer, like at all. And that's kind of bothersome. But I will say that it's good that we have Jose talking. I mean, it is the same guy that's in the pictures. But do we believe what's coming out of his mouth? No, absolutely not. There's so many problems. So we're going to pull up the first one. I've got my orange Julius and my Pepsi going. We're going to pull up the first one because it's been well over the 48 hours, and he gave permission to do that, which I don't really need the permission for. But there's certain things, I mean, we just kept going and going with the list. I'm sure all of you guys have also. Hey, White Rabbit. Hey, Charlene. Hey, Trasha. Beth.
Kiwi's one.
Are those real numbers? 2,000 to 11,000? Yeah, he went from, I mean...
He's over 12,000 now.
He's over 12,000 now. And so be it, that's what he wanted. Good for him, Yeah. But why'd you delete the hot mic moment? Because, it doesn't look good. And then also telling people to wait 48 hours to talk about it, I've never said something like that, but whatever. Now we've got Jose speaking out, and then we had Candace speaking out about Jose, and the stuff Candace was saying, this is just a mess. Like, to be honest, I don't even know where to honestly start, but we're going to go back to his first Jose interview, which is going to be this one. Hold on. Are you sitting like me now?
Yes.
Do you want to change chairs?
Yes.
I want to sit here, though.
Why'd you ask?
We'll change chairs.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, you guys. This wooden chair is very uncomfortable, but Mr. Sure cannot take it at all. It's very painful. I have a
sensitive posterior.
When you guys were asking, what's wrong with him? If you see him in this wooden chair, it's not comfortable at all for either one of us, but definitely not for him. So, scoochie over more to me. Scoochie to me. Mm-hmm. Okay, you guys, we're gonna turn the camera. Okay, what am I doing here? Okay. We are going to go through this here. Now, it is kind of slow. I'm going to speed up one notch, okay? If it's too fast, we'll go out of that. Now, I don't know who ICU is. And again, I don't think there's anything wrong with Justin doing the interviews. Who cares what BK says? Oh, God. Don't come in here and talk about BK. I literally don't give a shit. Some people have been emailing saying that Benny has been saying that he didn't know about the Wells case before I brought him into it. That's a lie. I didn't even know about Benny until the Wells case. That's how I met Benny. And I actually remember one of the exact live streams I watched, he was actually saying that what's her name? Chasing Truth should be the voice for the Wells. This was way back in like July or August. And so I don't care what Benny's saying. Benny is trashing Justin and what's his name? Jose. Whatever. It is whatever. Like I said, there's certain things like Justin is saying, as in like, oh, this is gonna be it. This is gonna put my channel over, and he's right. It did, and like I said, that's wrong. I mean, if that's what he felt, I don't think he should have gone live and said that. It just rubs me wrong, and it's just like his bestie Molly Golightly was saying that Summer's a cash cow, and he made me feel that that's exactly how they feel. Now, there's a lot of rumors flying. I do believe it because I know the things Molly Golightly has done in the past, as much of you guys do. Paying for interviews is, in my opinion, trashy. I don't like it, and I haven't had to pay for one, nor would I pay for one. People are going to talk, or they're not going to talk, right? I don't think that we should be... Listen, if Benny is discussing he had been speaking on the sex life of 2 minor children, unacceptable. Yeah, it is unacceptable, so we don't even, unless it counteracts into what we're discussing in this, we don't even have to talk about him, so let's just not talk about him then, if he's that disgusting, Because I agree, Patty Ponytail, I used to think that.
Going to town on her Orange Julius.
Please stop. I don't think he's put together right, in my opinion. I don't think many of the people in here are. Whatever. Let's start going over this, and then we will compare the notes. Mr. Cher took some, I took some, so we got some notes going on. First, before we play this, baby, what listening to the first interview, we'll leave tonight out of it so far because I don't even really care what was said tonight. Is just regurgitating old bullshit. It's the same thing over. Hey, Trulia Beach. What do you think? Listening to the first interview, what is like the main thing that stood out to you with the interview that Jose did?
He was very anti-Dawn, and he was always trying to puff himself up. Like, I do this for my kids, I do that. It's like, well, where the hell were you? Where were your kids? Like, don't try and play yourself off as father of the year. You weren't even around them, your own children, so you shouldn't be throwing any stones about parenting.
Yes, Natasha, I cut those light purple ones that you sent. They didn't curl that well because they will melt. Because these ones aren't real human hair, but they curled a little. Jason is handling his show just like most others. I don't know who Jason is. If you mean Justin, yeah, unfortunately, he has like most others. All right, let's kind of go through some of this together, and we'll get to it. I just want to see, was that part edited out? I think it was, or yeah, I think he did edit it out, but we're going to see if it's on here. Punksy, welcome to the Crazy Train, choo-choo, and I forgot, I'm so sorry, but somebody did it, was it Punksy?
Left a super sticker, yeah.
Did a super sticker, thank you, Punksy. I think I didn't thank you for that earlier. But welcome back to the Crazy Train, because I know you were a part before. Right at the beginning. People call themselves.
Well, hello, my dear friends. How's everybody?
Yeah, he edited it out. It was before this, so all right. He edited out the hot mic moment. Darn.
Today? Absolutely, everyone. Misinformation.
Utah.
Okay, no, like, misinformation. It doesn't matter. You really say In my opinion, that's how I feel. That's all we have to go on this case.
Yeah.
Including your interview, Justin. It's, I don't know. It is what it is.
That actually was going to.
All right, let's rewind that just a notch. You can tell he edited, so.
Point that I am here for is for Summer Wells.
Disagree, because you edited out the part where it said, this is going to be the big one. This is it, you guys. This is the big one. This is going to do it. And then you also told creators to wait 48 hours before going on and talking about it. That's not about Summer. That's about your channel.
And that's it.
That's not it.
So just be respectful, be kind to one another, and you can all tell your opinions, your feelings.
Thank
but
you.
if you have
Through a real bad divorce, and I basically had a
pen
psychotic
here?
break,
'Cause I'm
and
making more notes.
I was staying with a friend of mine that actually was going to move down to Tennessee, and I wind up going
You
with
know
them
what?
to
There's
go down
one
there,
right in the
and
closet here.
where we were supposed to.
If you look where my makeup brushes are, there's a blue pen somewhere on that bottom shelf there. In by the makeup brushes or beside the makeup brushes. Because anything else stands out to me, guys, I want to write it down also. Sorry. We don't got the shit together tonight. It's okay. Hey, Shell. Hey, shut the F up, Donnie. Yeah, this interview. Well, listen, I've been dying to get my thoughts and opinions to you guys about this because Don and I have talked a lot about this Jose character. And the interesting part is actually Jose was not brought up a lot with Don and Candace. He was not really. Compared to everybody else, Jose was hardly mentioned as one of their suspects. So I find it interesting. He's really learning from MGL. Let's go, Justice. Let's go. Yeah, that's exactly who he's learning from. Unfortunate, but whatever. There's just something about this kid that just makes you want to kind of slap your mama or your grandma or something. I don't know.
To stay, the place had fell through. We didn't really have anywhere to stay, and my friend was, his children's mother had lived down there, and she had a friend that basically had a room.
Okay. All right. So he said his friend wanted to go down there. I want to rewind that because he's saying his friend, like, we're not supposed to know who it is, but I'm guessing it's Andrew Hilt.
So just be respectful,
And,
be kind to one another,
His friends,
and
his
you can all tell
kid's
your
mom. That would
opinions,
be Alli,
your feelings.
right? Hey, yo,
But if
Pergel.
you
I
have
thought you were
heard
blue.
something
What is going on
or
with my channel?
you believe something, you please put
A little
in my
gray.
opinion or allegedly in the
I
chat,
rage quit
because
YouTube.
a lot of
When I
people
got a
can take
notification share was
things
off.
as fact, and that is
Oh,
also
I'm
how
sorry.
misinformation can get out, and we don't want that because there's
Oh,
been enough
gosh,
in
let's
this
just
case.
go.
So
Okay.
Jose, how are you doing today?
I'm hanging in there, actually. Rough night, but I'm doing okay.
Good. Yeah, you're a hard one to track down.
Yeah, I literally was, I had mental problems, and I just went off grid to, get myself back together again.
Yeah. So Jose, can you tell us how you how did you get down to Tennessee? What led you down there? How long did you stay in Tennessee? And just the general.
Okay, so he's asking good first questions. Like I said, there's a lot of questions I wish he would have asked. I didn't hear them tonight asked either. The questions, again, different humans will have different questions. He's asking too many questions at once, in my opinion. He's kind of like 3 questions at once. We noticed with Don, you can't really do that. You have to ask the one question. And also, I think it's harder for them to respond. If we just asked one, Justin prepped him for these lives. Oh, he did. I can tell that as well.
They even admitted that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's kind of shitty as well because we don't do that. We did with Don. We prepped as in, like, we want you to be sober. We want you to be dressed nice. And yeah, we didn't want any of the drunk messiness. However, going over the questions that were going to be asked first, no, not really. I don't, that's kind of besides the point of an interview. And I dislike when people ask for the questions beforehand. But out of respect, if it's asked for, yeah, I'll do that. But I don't like that. I like when people will say to me, I'm an open book, nothing, everything is on the table, nothing off limits. That's how I prefer an interview to go.
Concept, I'll give the floor to you right now.
Okay, so basically, I was going through a real bad divorce, and I basically had a psychotic break, and
Okay, so bad divorce and a psychotic break. And he said mental problems right off the bat. I have divorce, but I'm just going to write it again. Bad divorce and a mental break. Around the time he went to stay and rent from Candus. So that's not good.
I was staying with a friend of mine that actually was going to move down to Tennessee, and I wound up going with them to go down there. And where we were supposed to stay, the place had fell through. We didn't really have anywhere to stay, and my friend was, his children's mother had lived down there, and she had a friend that basically had a room, and no one wanted to stay there, but because of what I was going through, I decided to just stay in Tennessee, and I wound up renting the room from Candus. And they were great to me, They were actually real nice. They helped me out, and so I was basically staying with them. I was almost there a good 6 months living there.
Okay.
And
from approximately when did you was you in Tennessee staying with the Wells to approximately when did you leave?
This would be maybe, I believe it was February or March. I remember it was winter time.
So he's saying he left around February or March, and summer got gone in June.
I think he said he got there in February or March.
So if he got there in February or March, so he was there for 7 months then before Don got home in October 18th. So his timeline doesn't add up because already for Justin, he's gone back and said that he went there for 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, and now he's saying February or March. That's 7 months. So he's saying February, March, and mind you, tonight he said different time on Justin's. He said 1 month, 2 months, and Justin picked that up actually. Justin and the ICU. Justin said, yeah, we do kind of have to nail that down a little bit better because he's saying different things. So they did pick that up. His divorce was in 2018. See, now here's my problem too. He actually mentions to Justin in this interview, I believe, something about Summer being 3 years old. So now she just turned 6. This all happened in 2020. So October 2020, Don rushed back, because the story we got through our old interviews with Don and what he has actually said, I think, on multiple platforms, is that Candus heard a girl in the background while he was in Utah and got all upset and thought that he was cheating on her. And so that's when she decided to have Jose and them over to get back at him because she wanted to make him jealous. Well, it turns out Jose was living there for, it sounds like several months. So, something is totally off here. Again, he mentioned Summer being around 3. Punksy, I thought you were blue. Okay. I gotta go through my mods after some of you were blue and are not blue anymore. Anyway, okay, so that domestic call, let's just pause this for a minute. I'm going to look that up really quick because I believe it was October 18th, between the 14th and 18th of 2020. Candus Bly. Okay, this should have a date. Does this have a date on it? Dun, 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 dun. This might. Okay. There's got to be a date on here somewhere, no?
DeLonghi.
Oh yeah, there's the coffee maker. All right, you guys. So, dun, 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 dun. Okay, 4 days later, October 19th. All right, let's read through this. Baby, would you mind? Hey, Kinkins.
Rogersville, Tennessee. According to documents from the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office, the father of missing 5-year-old Summer Utah Moon Wells was arrested on domestic assault charges last year. Police reports revealed Donald Wells was arrested on October 14th and charged with domestic assault, possession of a handgun while under the influence, and unlawful possession of a weapon in regards to an incident with Summer's mother, Candus Bly. HCSO was dispatched to 110 Ben Hill Road for domestic assault. When officers arrived, Wells was driving a truck and coming back up the driveway. While at home, officers report hearing family members fear for his return and claim that there was a firearm in the vehicle. Wells was arrested during a felony stop in the driveway. Officers noted a strong odor of alcohol on Wells and said he was stumbling when picked up off the ground. He told officers there was a black powder pistol in the glove box. He had previous felon charges from Utah that he had been drinking. Bly told officers Wells came home drunk and saw someone else in the house and believed Bly was cheating on him.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, all that glitters. We love you too. Thank you so much.
Allegedly, Wells argued with the person in the house and began a struggle with Bly. Documents say Bly was pushed down, causing an injury to her left knee. She and other witnesses said Wells began punching himself in the face before leaving. I don't think Jose even mentioned that. The following day, Bly filed an order of protection against Wells. In the order, she wrote, "I am afraid for my children and myself. My mother fears he is going to hurt her because she is staying in her camper on the property." 4 days later, on October 19th, the day of the hearing, Bly asked the judge for the charges to be dismissed. On April 21st, 2021, Wells pled guilty to possession of a handgun while under the influence and turned the weapon over to Hawkins County Sheriff's Office. The domestic assault charges and unlawful possession of a handgun were dismissed.
I gotta get some Kleenex. So is there a date somewhere on there?
Yeah, back up at the start.
So when was that? It had to be 2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is going on with
that
me?
right there? It's October 2020. So now, and he says after Don got back, he was there for a week, right? That's what Jose himself says.
Jose said he was there a month.
A month. Oh, so now it's a month. So if he got there February or March, this was October. What was that put? So February. We'll go with February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. That's 8 months. And even if we say it was March, that's 7 months that he was there. That's his own words saying that. So again, in 2020 to 2021, when's her birthday?
It was in January, I think.
January. So she was 5 when he went there. Why is he talking about her being 3 years old at some points?
Yeah, the youngest she would have been is 4.
So that's kind of weird. And so Mr. Cher had asked before, has he ever met Candace and Don before? And I'm like, not that any of us have been told. Not that we know. He hasn't, right?
Yeah, which is odd because he has such a strong opinion about Don, and really, he only knew him for apparently a month.
Yeah.
And he never went to work with him, so he was only seeing him for a few hours at night.
Mm-hmm. So February 4th, 2016, that's her, what?
That's her birthday?
Is it? Okay. Yeah, that's her birthday. That makes sense. Thank you, Christy. Yeah, I think that is her birthday. It was January or February. So either way, alrighty. So Justin is what, like 5 minutes into this interview, 10 minutes and 43 seconds, and already it's not adding up at all. Let's keep going.
We wind up going down there, and I left like a little bit almost before we were touching fall, you could say.
Okay. Okay, go ahead with your story. You're fine.
Touching fall. He was there till mid-October. So yeah.
So I was staying with them at the time, and they was helping me. At the time, Donnie wasn't in the residence at that time. He was actually in Utah at that time, and I was renting from Candace. She was there with her mother as well, and her 4 children. Well, not her 4, because Josie actually wasn't there either. Josie was with Donnie Wells in Utah.
Okay.
So in the house, it was basically Wayland, Wyatt.
And we hear his sisters talk about that as well, right? About Josie and Don being in Utah. Now, the time of him being in Utah, and I'm sorry I'm not paying full attention to the chat. So again, mods, you guys are pretty good. Just be mindful what you're deleting, because I have been trying to look at deleted messages, because I get a lot of emails of I cannot go. It's very hard for me to unblock people, so I really need you guys to be mindful what we're deleting. I'm trying to delete less and block less if we can. But anyway.
And Summer in the house.
Okay.
And so while I was staying there, a lot of things had transpired while I was there.
Justin has a good poker face, yeah?
Yeah.
No, yeah, he does have a good poker face, because I'm like, is he buying this shit? Is he not? Like, I don't know. And I saw an old face. I've learned a lot. He is from Utah, and so is Don. Do you think they might have known each other over there? Absolutely, I do, because he's brought up a couple times about Summer and being three years old. So basically, like 2 years prior to, I don't know, just going on and keep listening. And again, he's lying. And Justin picked it out. I guess it's a video I think he pre-recorded today's interview. Was it pre-recorded? Because he was like talking over it. But yeah, he even said, he's like, okay, he is telling different stories with how long he was renting there. And he was renting from Candace, but it's Don's house, but Don wasn't there. That does align with Don saying he rushed back. Why did he rush back? Like, what was it that made him rush back? Because I don't know. Was he jealous Candace had another guy there, or what was he upset about? To be honest, I think Don gets upset when other people try to play daddy to his kids, because I heard him snap at Benny for Benny calling Summer his daughter. I don't know if you remember that, but that was a huge, like, no in Don's book. Candace apparently is not happy with the way that Jose is talking about. He does talk about Summer like Summer is his baby in a way. It's very weird. It's not appropriate in my opinion, and I don't understand how people are like, "Oh, Jose, you're so awesome. Oh, thank you," and like praising him and trying to send him shit when this man has like charges that are not appropriate to be around children. Maybe that's why Don rushed back, because I'm not sure. I don't know if he cared enough about. Otherwise, it's that there's another man in his house on his property. Maybe that was a no-go. Is that property, as far as I know, is Don's property. Don's mom left it in the inheritance, I believe. So, hey, Cheshire.
You know, I guess they all liked me in the sense of relationships wise. You know, they found I was cute or whatever, but at the time, because of what I was going through, I really didn't want to hook up with no relationship type deal. I was just trying to get myself together, you know, having severe nightmares and things like that.
No.
And so while I was there, I could remember the first time I initially.
He's trying to get himself together. He was at the wrong darn place to try and get himself together. Okay, very textbook narcissist right away. Oh, everyone thought I was so great, but you know, I wasn't trying for a relationship and all that. Maybe you weren't, but you definitely messed around with. You can deny you messed around with Candace all you want, but I don't believe that. There was a tiff with these two girls because of a stepping on toes situation. It's very crystal clear to see. He says he threw his phone away after he found out Candace was back with Don and he'd bought her the car, which is weird as crap. Absolutely, that is weird. Stop yelling, Sharon, being rude to Mark. You are not with your kids either, and picking that face, junkie. Wow, I'm glad you subscribed for 20 minutes to say that, you fucking weirdo. My kids are great. Thanks for asking. And yelling at Mark? I'm yelling at you now?
I must have missed that.
Yeah, I'm yelling in general. So, you know, it's pretty pathetic that I have this subscribed for 20 minutes and you actually waited 20 minutes to make that comment. So don't you worry about where my kids are at. I know where they at. My kids are good. So, you know, you're going to have to try a little bit harder than that. Fucking pathetic. You actually subscribed for 20 minutes to say that. Like, seek help.
That's dedication.
That is dedication. Thank you. Thank you, fucking moron. Oh my gosh.
We walked into the home that we were coming up the driveway, how to get up there. Their lawn was like,
I'm picking my face, you
like
junkie.
if you was
That's
in another state,
hilarious.
they probably would have got fined for the way that lawn was, because how tall it was.
By the way, since you're still listening, even though you've been blocked, I actually have changed hormone treatment. You might want to look that up a little bit, and that's all we'll go. That's all we'll go with, sweetheart. Ugh.
Lawnmower was sitting there. You know, the kids didn't really have much play area. Also, at the time, I also found out there was a poisonous snake lurking around in the yard. You know, they had a beehive hidden under the lawn by the driveway. It was pretty bad. I found all these things out after I mowed that lawn for them so the kids could play.
All right, but they live in the country, though. Like, okay, there's many things you can bash Don and Candace for, but a beehive and a poisonous snake isn't one. That is out of their control. And that's, I mean, like, at this point, right off the bat, all he's trying to do is make them look horrible and how good he is because he probably got rid of that beehive. He probably killed that snake or whatever.
I remember the first time I initially walked in through the door, I was pretty much shocked at what I saw, because as you entered, you know, you see mattresses on the floor, and blankets were thrown all over the place, and, you know, TV was in a particular corner with movies piled up, and then as you entered through another door, you got to the kitchen area, and truly it was disgusting. Dishes piled up, looked like it hadn't been washed in weeks, roaches all over the place. I remember asking them to use the bathroom, and you would walk a little bit and had to go behind these double dressers that they basically turned into a wall, so you couldn't see someone actually using the toilet. So they had the toilet there and the sink.
Welcome, Marianne, to Crazy Train. Choo choo. Thank you. But I don't know. This is what I know. This is what I do.
The shower, which was like the shower stand, and where the shower was, when you looked down, it was supposed to be like a little closet area where they had all their clothes just hung up and things like that. So when they were taking me to where I was going to sleep, it was downstairs in the cellar. And I was thinking, you know, I don't see no stairs, you know, how the hell am I going to get down there? And when I looked just behind this counter that they had that basically looked like a bar that they built, there was a hole in the ground, and you just walked down those stairs and you were into the cellar. And when you look to the left was the parents' room. And
now, when you say cellar, do you mean basement?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, yes, the basement.
Okay.
So when you walk down those stairs as you're going down through the hole, you would look to the left, and to the left was a big open area. They had a 42-inch TV on a shelf. Their door to access outside into the driveway was there. They had a couch in front of that door, and then their mattress was basically on the floor. They didn't have no bed rails or anything. It was center blocks on the floor, and the mattress was on top of those center blocks.
Whose bed was that?
And then that was the parents' room.
Okay, downstairs.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you say there was a couch in front of the door that goes outside?
Correct. Yes, that was to prevent any of the kids opening and closing that door. You know, when y'all finally contacted me, you know, just going a little ahead, when y'all had contacted me and was telling me everything that's going on.
Okay, so it's possible. I mean, if they had that couch, it's not there now, but it could be as simple as they burnt it. Like, we've lived in the country. When we get new furniture, we would actually just burn the old furniture. It's a very country thing to do if you have any kind of property at all. I even know people in Minnesota that would like dig, and they would actually bury stuff like that. They'd break it down and bury it, which isn't, you know, probably great, but there's people that do that in the country. Now that's Minnesota, but country is country. I don't think it matters what state you're really in. They probably burnt that couch if it was, you know, old or whatever, make more room in there or something. Oh, Mary, thank you so much for that. You are amazing also. The couch in front of the door could have been a thing, but that door was closing fine. Whenever we seen it, it seemed to lock and close and latch fine. I don't think there was any, I mean, I don't know if there was any issues with that. It seems he's throwing in silly little things that don't even matter, which is what liars kind of do. Again, making himself, like Mr. Sheriff said, all puffed up, and he's just so great, so great. Now, the parents bet on, what did he say? They were on cinder blocks. And, I mean, okay, so they didn't have enough money. Like, I don't know. They're making do. I don't think every little thing like that is supposed to be picked apart. Again, it's to make them look so horrible, which they don't need any extra help doing that, in my opinion. It's okay, Jose. You survived. You did not have to bum from them for months. Allegedly, you're annoying.
I could clearly remember that, you know, looking at these videos as they were talking with Donnie, and he's like, well, you know, Summer's pretty intelligent. You know, she could have opened that door, you know, but no.
One thing he said I could clearly remember from looking at these videos, he apparently only started watching YouTube the night before this was recorded. And he is so up to snuff with all the videos and the lingo. You'll hear that later. But yeah, he refers to rape as SA.
Yeah.
That's a very YouTube thing. You don't say that in the real world. I've never heard that before until YouTube.
Also Grandis.
And calls her Grandis.
He calls her Grandis, which is a YouTube term for her. And yeah, he calls her Grandis. Now, and he must have watched an awful lot before Justin had sent him, I believe, just a day or two prior to this interview, Cher, where's Summer? Where's the urn, Cher? Oh, ask Benny. He knows. Did you know all that, Cher? What?
What urn?
I have no idea, but we absolutely are not going to be dealing or tolerating with stupid ass comments like that. Don't come here asking me where Summer is. Ask Dawn. Ask Candace. Like, and I don't know what Benny's fucking doing or why he says half the shit that he says, so.
There is no could have. There is a definite, because she had the consistency of always unlocking the door and walking out whenever they see fit. And this was not just Summer. This was also Waylon
But
and
I thought it
Wyatt
didn't
as well.
lock, though.
So
I thought there was a
they
couch
would
there
just come
because the
in and
door
out.
wouldn't lock and wouldn't latch and lock.
I don't think the couch was blocking the door, but it was just in that little tiny
He
hallway.
said it was used to block the door because it wouldn't stay shut, right? That's what he said?
I don't think he said that.
I mean, I'll rewind it. That's what he said. Or that's what I heard.
Having severe nightmares and things like that.
I think I rewound too far, but
And,
we'll get there.
So while I was there, I could remember the first time I initially walked into the home that we
Let
were
the
coming
trolls
up
come
the
out.
driveway, how to
That's
get
fine.
up there. Their lawn was like, oh, like if you was in another state, they probably would have got fined for the way that lawn was, because of how tall it was. You know, lawnmower was sitting there.
Who met at a
You
storage
know, the
unit?
kids didn't really have much play area. Also, at the time, I also found out there was
He said Seth says Justin told him those terms over the phone the night before. He picked it up and memorized those terms right away, because unless it's like a habit to hear, you don't just say that.
No, for the longest time, I wasn't even saying it.
Right, it takes a while. So if he memorized all those terms in several hours, good for him. He's a smart cookie then.
And watched hours and hours and hours of live streams and videos in a night. Like, it's not even possible.
He coached Jose to say essay, and he also say Grandis, so people in chat didn't get confused to who he was talking about. Like I said, if he did, he picked it up very quick, which is, I mean, hey, maybe he picked it up that quick, whatever.
a poisonous snake lurking around in the yard.
It's weird he would call it that. That's another thing that's weird to me, because I've learned a lot. He called Grandis. I mean, he lived there, right? So I would think it would actually be harder to pick up on the slang to call someone you lived with for 7 or 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had a beehive hidden under the lawn by the driveway. It was pretty bad. I found all these things out after I mowed that lawn for them so the kids could play. I remember the first time I initially walked in through the door, I was pretty much shocked at what I saw, because as you entered, you know, you see mattresses on the floor, blankets were thrown all over the place, and you know, TV was in a certain particular corner with movies piled up, and then as you entered through another door, you got to the kitchen area, and truly it was disgusting. Dishes piled up, looked like it hadn't been washed in weeks.
Justin's not a bad guy. How do you say? Isla. He's not a bad guy, like I said. I think he's getting hate he doesn't deserve, but there's just a few things he has said and deleted, because he knows it's wrong. When you delete that shit, you know it was wrong, you know? So there's that. Does he care? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he does or he doesn't, but again, I don't think he deserves the hate that he's getting for doing the interviews. I think that's just people, again, hating like they did on me for talking to Dawn. In fact, he's doing well with... there's a part of me that kind of feels like he's like, what the fuck, dude? But he's holding it together pretty well. He has a much better poker face than I do.
Poker face.
I've been waiting for your guys' view on this. Thank you, Betsy. Oh, what do we got? Or more trolls. Did you blame those sores on your face on hormones? You cannot even pronounce the word either. LOL. Oh, seek help, people.
Weeks, roaches all over the place. I remember asking them to use the bathroom, and you would walk a little bit and had to go behind these double dressers that they basically turned into a wall, so you couldn't see someone actually using the toilet. So they had the toilet there and the sink and the shower, which was like a shower stand. And where the shower was, when you looked down, it was supposed to be like a little closet area where they had all their clothes just hung up and things like that. So when they were taking me to where I was going to sleep, it was downstairs in the cellar. And I was thinking, you know, I don't see no stairs. You know, how the hell am I going to get down there? And when I looked just behind this counter that they had that basically looked like a bar that they built, there was a hole in the ground, and you just walked down those stairs, and you were into the cellar. And when you look to the left was the parents' room. And
now, when you say cellar, do you mean basement?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically,
Okay.
yes, the basement.
Okay.
So when you walk down those stairs as you're going down through the hole, you would look to the left, and to the left was a big open area. They had a 42-inch TV on a shelf. Their door to access outside into the.
No, he says that he helped clean. Because he was like, oh, I was so great. I cleaned. I did the dishes. I cooked. So, I mean, he says, yeah, I think Justin's like, you mean basement? Like, why are you saying cellar? I think he was a little uneasy with that, which I would be too. It's kind of dark. It's like cellar. Why are you saying? But that, I think I've heard that is a very, that's like a thing you say. They call their basement cellars, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I do think that's a.
Well, like cellar dweller.
Well, I think it's a Tennessee thing, right? Am I right?
Cellar and basement can be interchanged. Yeah.
I am feeling a little bit better. Once it evens out, like I said, I have every single thing on the list that we were looking. But yes, I've had for 10 years I've been on hormone treatment because I have menopause that I got very early. So for 10 years, well, 9.5 years, I have been on different treatment. And Wednesday, I changed my treatment. I was supposed to wait about a week before starting my new hormone treatment, but I didn't. I waited less than 24 hours, so it's just been a mess. And even if I didn't wait, there's all kinds of side effects, including I might get bigger breast cysts, so that's a plus.
Driveway was the.
Oh yeah, and for the haters, you absolutely do. You might need to like study biology or something like that, but yes, breaking out like a 14-year-old is very much a hormone side effect. So I'm not sure if you did school or
went through puberty.
Yeah, went through puberty or know anything about hormones or menopause or hormone treatments, especially when you have to take the treatment about 30 years sooner than you're supposed to be. Yeah. Before you try to burn people, you might want to do some research, sweetheart.
There, they had a couch in front of that door, and then their mattress was basically on the floor. They didn't have no bed rails or anything. It was center blocks on the floor, and the mattress was on top of those center blocks.
Whose bed was that?
And then that was the parents' room.
Okay, downstairs.
Okay.
So
Yes.
what I heard is the couch was blocking the door because that door wouldn't shut all the way, and Dawn would get upset with the kids for going in and out because it wasn't latching properly. So Dawn put a couch there to block the door. An explosion. Yeah, basement, cellar. Oh, I know I don't have to explain myself. I just think it's funny that they will actually make a comment that is very uneducated, especially since I've been open and honest and shown all of my shit on camera.
Did you say there was a couch in front of the door that goes outside?
Correct. Yes, that was to prevent any of the kids opening and closing that door.
Uh-huh.
You know, when y'all finally contacted me,
Before Dawn put the couch
just
there.
going a little
I
ahead,
believe.
when y'all had contacted me and was
said the
telling me
couch was
everything
there when
that's
you first
going
went in.
on, I could clearly remember that,
Then he's lying about
looking
the
at these
couch,
videos
and that's
as
why it's not
they were
there.
talking with Donnie, and he's like, well, Summer's pretty intelligent. She could have opened that door, but no, there is no could have. There is a definite, because she had the consistency of always unlocking the door and walking out whenever they see it fit. And this was not just Summer. This was also Waylon and Wyatt as well.
Mhm.
So
Then why was the couch
they
there
would
to block
just
the
come
door?
in and out
See,
freely.
he's lying.
Yeah,
he is not making any sense.
That was my point.
Okay.
So the
Candace
door did lock.
for them. Excuse me?
The door
You
did
said
lock?
the door does lock or it did not lock?
No, it did not lock. Something was wrong with the lock. and they couldn't find the key, so they basically had this not a love seat, but the larger one that looked like it was a sofa bed, but it wasn't, and it was blue, and they had that pushed up against the entranceway of the door.
So how can
And
she get
that's
out
where the
then?
kids would hang out and sit and watch the TV, watch movies and cartoons and things like that.
Okay,
And
so
then when
the
you look-
couch was inside, right? It wasn't like an out. They didn't.
No, it was inside of Candace and Donnie's room, but it was pressed up against the wall that literally the door was there.
Okay.
And I slept in the room adjacent to them. And
So
in that
she
room
would crawl
adjacent
up
to them
over
was
the
basically
couch.
kids.
She would have to scooch the couch out of the way and go out the door to get out there all the time. Like, what is he? He's not either. What he's saying does not make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's like contradicting his own self. Every other word he's saying. Or, excuse me.
Yeah, he said the couch was there to prevent them from using the door, but they used the door all the time. So obviously the couch wasn't blocking the door.
So,
Summer's not going to be able to move a couch.
right. Not a love seat at 5 years old.
Yeah.
No. You guys. Ugh. JLR released a video of Alli confirming the couch blocking the door. Oh yeah, let's listen to another liar about, I mean, I'm sorry, but I don't know. Who do we trust in any of us anymore? Because the thing is, over Jose, Candace is more believable. I mean, that's crazy.
Playroom, and all their toys was in there and stuff. Another thing was when I seen a photo of where they showed how the boys' beds were and things like that. That bed was never there. That bed was the bed I slept in the cellar. It was literally pushed up against the wall, and the rest of the room was the kids' room that had all their toys. And
Yeah,
I
your
remember
5-year-old
specifically.
helps you, Leah. Your 5-year-old helps you move a couch. So we're supposed to believe someone went and moved this couch multiple times a day to get out, is what it sounds like. But I mean, I'm sure you helped your 5-year-old move a couch. Either way, let's say Summer could move the couch. None of it then makes sense. The point of the couch being there is what? Like, I don't know then. Did the door latch or not latch? Because he also says it would lock and not find the key or whatever. I don't even know.
Because
I'm not
the
rewinding
kids will
again.
always come downstairs, hey, Jose, how you doing? And I'm like, hey, what's up? And they would be like, we came to play with our toys. And I would be laying there, and I'll be like, go ahead, have at it. Go play with your toys, And Candace would yell from upstairs. That, leave Jose alone. He's trying to get rest and stuff. And I would tell her, don't worry about it. They're kids. Let them play. I really don't care at all whatsoever. So it was basically my room / their playroom, which I never denied them entrance. There was no door to the room. They could just freely walk in.
What was there doors anywhere in anywhere in the house?
Only the doors to get in and out of the home.
Okay, so but there was no internal
That's a
door.
good question, actually,
There was
Justin.
an
Because
internal
I was
door from the
curious.
first room you enter through the front of the house to get into the kitchen. It was a blue door with a glass window, and that door, when the kids were, not behaving. This was after Donnie came back.
Hey, hold, 1 second, Jose. 1 second, Jose. I see you're having some feedback.
After Donnie
Your mic
came
may
back.
be okay.
Couch
There
was
we go. Go ahead.
against the
Sorry,
wall
Jose.
as well
Okay,
as
so,
the door. Perhaps it was a small couch.
Donnie
Yeah,
would
he
always
said
keep
like a
that blue
love
door
seat,
closed,
something like that.
and
Yeah.
he would tell the kids, don't mess with the lock. We don't have the key for this door. Leave the door somewhat open, and that it was basically, to keep the house warm and things like that. But if the kids did get out of hand, Donnie would send
Why
them
he
in
dumped
that
it in the
room
ocean,
and
we
close
all
the both
do.
doors, the doors to the front room and the door to that kitchen. And the kids would be in there, though they had TV and then.
MK.
Uh-oh. The call dropped.
So it said it all happened while Candace was gone for 2 minutes. Couch moving and all. Right.
Mhm.
All those people around Summer was so sneaky she got out. That's where he contradicts himself. He said the couch was there to prevent them from going in and out, but yet kids could move it to get out. Yep. The blue door with the window was inside the house and later used for the basement door. I was thinking that, Sage. It sounds like when he is describing that, I picture that basement door because it's blue and it's got the kind of like the, what do you call it, two-way mirror, whatever, where you can see out but not really see in. And the thing about it, the mattress, a lot of people doesn't have headboards. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah, we don't.
Also, my kids had a thing as well as I did when growing up, but my kids actually preferred not to have the beds and box springs on like a bed frame. And I actually did prefer that too. They liked it that way. And you put the box spring and the mattress, they kind of like their bed lower to the floor. But I like that too. Some parents like that because they can't, put shit under the bed, like hide shit under the bed and stuff like that. So, I mean, in my opinion, that's people's own, like their own choice. So why is that? And the parents having it on cinder blocks, maybe they wanted a bigger bed, they couldn't afford a bed frame. Like, I don't know, little things like that. It's like, why is this even, it has nothing to do with it. It's just, again, just to try to make them look bad, and they don't need help with that.
Hold on. That's not good.
Oh, so yeah, he dropped the call.
Sorry. Hold
I
on.
think it takes a few minutes to get it back.
He holds his stress in really good though. He's like, you can tell he's stressed, but he's calm.
Put the kids in the room. Like, what?
If they disobeyed, didn't listen,
Okay, let me just go back a little.
would fall asleep watching cartoons. Yes, that would be the front room as you get to the entering.
Silence.
Or roll out of bed. Yeah.
Sorry.
Bed that was on the wall, and
Could you repeat that? Sorry, there was a problem. Could you just start from the beginning?
Yes, Anita, he does.
Okay, so in that room, basically Candace and Summer, Grandis, and Wyatt would sleep in that front room. They literally had two queen-size mattresses on the floor, and then they had a futon bed against the wall. That's where Grandis had slept because she had a knee replacement, and she couldn't really get up and down from the floor. She also had a camper on property that, she slept in once in a while as well. And Wayland would usually sleep in the cellar in his parents' room on the couch, and he would fall asleep watching cartoons on TV, and I would be in the next room next door.
Okay, so why would Don put the kids in the room? Like, what?
If they disobeyed, didn't listen to what he said, he just would get so upset and start screaming and yelling at them, and go in the effing room. And that man, listening to him talk to you, it's like looking at two sides of a coin, because he talks to you one way, but when you see him behind closed doors, this is totally different, man. F-bomb out of his mouth, S this, like freely. It's like the F word is definitely a prime word in his vocabulary.
So what?
You know what I mean?
Are we supposed to believe that Jose talks all innocent like this every day too? Like,
Yeah,
no,
that's just one of those examples of him trying to make himself
look better. Yeah,
look better.
Such a narcissist here, and yeah. Hey, Mr. Positive.
Did Don go to church?
Well, another thing I want. Oh, he's about to bring up the church, which is in our notes as well. But another thing. What was I just gonna say?
That you really love me.
No, yeah, that too. But if he is talking about how disgusting the house and living environment was, I wonder why then, if Grandma wasn't sleeping in the camper, why wasn't Jose? Just
Yeah.
I don't know.
If he was so disgusted by the house,
So
roaches
disgusted.
everywhere, dirty clothes, no door on the bathroom.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't stay there.
Now, do you guys remember too, where'd that pen go? Okay, Jody Sue has brought up, around the time everyone getting upset because right around that time a bunch of people was coming. They were talking about the property lines, and Jody Sue was upset because people were getting the property lines wrong, and it was going into her yard, and that was wrong, and everyone was getting pissed off, and then all of a sudden all this mess, and Summer get gone right around all this mess, right? So we hear later on in this interview, I believe, that Jose was upset that there was a shed that could be fixed up well enough to be an apartment to rent out, and he is upset that they didn't do that. Why wouldn't they do that? And so I'm like, okay, so was this the group of people that was down there trying to buy all this land? And because I don't understand why is he so upset with them not wanting to fix up one of the sheds to make it a apartment to rent out. Like, it's not his property to be demanding these things or upset should they not want to do it, right? Like, what are we missing here?
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
Church whenever you was there?
Did he go where?
Did he go to church?
No, he never went to church. Never. From the moment he would come home from work, he already had beer in him.
All right. So again, never went to church. So now February or March he went there, right? And he stayed until sometime mid-October when he finally left. So we got 7 or 8 months that he was there. And Don was in Utah for 9 months. And we have then, what's her face, Robin, telling Chris McDonough that Don and Candace have been going to that church for 2 or 3 years, right? Over 2 years.
Yep.
So that doesn't add up at all because he wasn't there for damn near a year. So, again, do we have church people lying? Like, we have to, right? Because he wasn't there. He wasn't there for 9 months in 2021.
Yeah.
And we are in 2022 now. So he wasn't going there for no 2 years. So again, I would have to ask Robin, why are you lying for Don and Candace Wells? That's weird. And I've asked her months ago. Remember at the prayer vigil, and she lied and said Don was at work and Candace had the flu and was sick in bed, and so they couldn't make the prayer vigil. And I said, hold. And I texted her, like, why are you lying for them? I just got off a video call with them. They are both drunk and messed up right now. Like, Candace isn't sleeping and Don is not at work. Why did you just publicly lie for them? Or did you know that you were lying for them, you know? And she didn't ever respond to that. But she responded to other messages after me asking that. So,
So basically, you're driving drunk coming home from work. You know,
okay,
and then
again,
when
try
he
to
did
make
buy
Don
food
look
for the
bad,
house,
but they
when
don't
he
need
got
help in
there,
that.
it's basically stuff from Dollar
Jose is
General,
what we
Family
call
Dollar,
mooch.
dollar things.
Jennifer
You mean the Dollar
Rouse.
General down the road there where the
Oh yes, absolutely.
I've been
And it
there.
will be all junk food, like the chips, cupcakes, Twinkies, you know, things like that. That's not food for children at all. I mean, it's snacks for them, yes.
Right.
But as far as real home cooked meals, that was not happening. Home cooked meals wasn't being cooked often until I entered the home, because I remember telling them, hey, I would like to cook something. And Candace and her mother looked at me like, wait, you know how to cook? I'm like, yeah, like, of course I do. I have 3 kids. I used to cook for them all the time. I love to cook. That's one of the things I enjoy doing for my children. So let me make something for them. And they sat there in amazement watching me cook.
Yeah. They're amazed that he knows how to work a stove.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? This is complete bullshit.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
This does not make sense
He
at all.
was cooking and all of this, and yeah, they're just so amazed and all this crap. Again, that's very narcissist, and yeah, he's a father, but now he's so great. He's such a great father, but like, he is not there now. I get it doesn't make sense. Like, people that want to dog me for, oh, why aren't you with your kids? I was with my kids every freaking day, all day, up until last summer. So for once, their fathers have to step in and be full-time dad. And let me tell you, people can dog me and drag me and say whatever they want about me and my kids, but they literally have no idea what my situation is. And my kids are older, you know, and it got to a point where my older 2 are always with friends, and if they're not with friends, you know, then they're with me. But then my other 2 boys, who are also now getting older, they are majorly into hunting and fishing now. And yeah, like, when they're not at school, they're always gone fishing and hunting. So it got to a point where I was like, okay, I have like I was basically at the house by myself all the time. And when you are basically a caregiver from the time you are 5 years old and on, there comes a point in your life where you want to be more than just share the caregiver of adults and children. Like, I was always a caregiver from 5 years old on, including my exes, my kids' grandma passed away from Alzheimer's, and I was her full-time caregiver for almost 6 years. So I never had a point in my life where Cher worried about Cher and could be more than just a caregiver, more than just a mom, and someone who is always under someone's thumb and bossed around and told what to do. And basically my life and schedule had to go off of making sure that the man of the house's schedule, like, could do whatever they wanted, you know? So, you know, when people try to dog me, they really don't know my situation, and it's okay, because my kids are my number one fans and very supportive. They are in love with how happy I am now and how I'm doing, and I'm me doing better. I'm able to be a better mom for them too. So trust me, they're like, my kids are like, ignore the hate, mom. Like, they have no idea what they're even talking about. These are strangers trying to act like they know who we are, you know? So the thing is with him, I don't know how to say, because he's trying to say that, you know, he was just in a mental institution or something like that. It's my belief, if you do your research, I think he was actually in jail or prison or something. So I believe there is trial charges on that, and there's other reasons. Now, could that be wrong? It could be wrong. Maybe he is a great father and he just had nowhere to go but to Don and Candace's house. That is possible. It is possible, you know? So, but that's not what we've learned about this Jose. We've got, I mean, Don and Candace said that he had charges. Don did. I mean, I have no idea what you're typing. Are you serious, Cher? What do you mean, am I serious, Cher? Natasha, you are such a good friend. Yes, she is. Misunderstood. See, you are blue. Why are you not blue? Guys, I gotta go through. Thank you, Trulia. A lot of people who have been mothers or a teen parent or even in long-term abusive narcissistic relationships will understand where I'm coming from. So people just want to come in here with the hate. Why did Don and Benny say you, Cher, sent nudes to both of them? BK said he has the proof. Okay, show the proof of that. Oh my gosh.
No way Don said that, by the way.
Yeah, and there's no way Don said that. That actually never happened, but they actually did beg me to do that, and that never happened. And that's really fucking funny. If he has the proof of me sending nudes, please post it. They have my permission to post the pictures of my nudes. And what's funny is there's tattoos that I have that none of them even know about. So that'll be interesting to see if they got those tattoos correct. That's just priceless.
And as I'm cooking, I'm watching.
I was begged to send nudes to Don, by the way, and I wouldn't. And it pissed people off. But yes, I was begged to do that. And no. Sending nudes isn't my thing. I'm not and have never really been down with that. I don't think of myself very highly like that to want to send nudes to even my own husband. So that's very interesting. The haters are just actually amusing at this point. I mean, they're subscribing for 20 minutes to put stupid comments. I say we should just leave them. It's just amusing at this point. Aw, Cece, thank you so much. Very sweet of you. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure when Don would have said that because he's been in jail for over a month now. And if Benny has had nudes of me, don't you think Mr. Doxing himself would have shared that a long time ago? Oh man, like that's just actually sounding desperate and sad and pathetic at this point. Like, do they want nudes of me? Like, are they, like, what is happening? This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Benny, show the nudes of me. Make sure you get all of my tattoos that are hidden down below correct, okay?
Washing all these piles of dishes, and putting them away on the side. They didn't even have dish holders, everything was just laid out on top of a counter, dish on top of dish. The spoons were just laid out like that. But if you looked at the rest of the home, just things were scattered everywhere. It looked like she was in the process of moving.
Yeah, kids prefer mattress on the floor when they're
What do you mean she decided to stay?
I don't know. She said she was gonna. She didn't want to be there alone with the kids anymore.
Make it must be sub for 24 days.
Because Donnie was gone and he shouldn't have left. He should have stayed. She didn't want to move to Utah. She specifically stressed that a lot. I don't want to move up there. I don't want to go up there. No. And I guess she was about to move because a lot of her stuff were still in boxes and scattered, and they were looking for things. It was
I'm not sure
a
how
pretty
Justin
big mess
would know
in
that.
there.
Justin
and
could
little
be
by
being
little,
lied
I
to.
would help them, clean up little by little. And the more consistent I got with it, the boys started to help me, Waylon and Wyatt.
Mm-hmm.
I would do the dishes, Waylon would dry them, and Wyatt would put them up so they wouldn't break or anything. They started sweeping.
For all we know, it could be possible, let's play devil's advocate here, it could be possible that Jose was one of the people that was reporting to CPS too. If he is not, we could have been fed all kinds of fake information from Don and Candace all this time. Very possible, right? So if Justin here has seen the proof and knows for a fact that Jose that actually was there, well, yeah, this is the one because it is the same guy from the pictures that are in Don and Candace's house. So we'll give him that, right? But if he's seen the proof and knows for sure that he wasn't arrested or in jail somewhere, then cool. Then maybe Jose will want to post that just because of, definitely there's been things shown around of him having those charges, but maybe he hasn't. Maybe Jose is one that was reporting to CPS or DHS, whatever it's called there in Tennessee, because we can't know that. He could be possibly someone who was reporting, possibly.
When they returned back to school, and they would come home, they weren't even allowed to eat until they had to do their homework, which I feel that that's wrong because, the children eat at 11 in the morning and they're coming home at 3 from the bus.
I agree with him on that. I agree with Jose on that because my kids their lunchtime before all of the COVID stuff, their lunchtime would be very early in the day, 11 something, and they wouldn't get home off the bus until 3:30, 3:45. So that's the first thing that my kids do when getting home from the bus, go to the kitchen and they want a snack. And that'd be like my thing to do, sometimes getting them prepared or picking them up from the bus and going to like a Quick Trip and getting, one of the hot sandwiches or something because I worked a truck stop for a couple years there. And so they'd like to go there to get some snack or a smoothie or something. So I do agree with Jose on that. The schools have kids eating very early lunches, and then when they get home, it's late. So that's something I can relate to.
3:30. Of course, they're going to want to eat something small. They're hungry. They're young. They burn through that energy. And they couldn't even eat. They had to do their homework first before they ate. And even after their homework was done, it's dollar pizzas, or chips or cupcakes. I'm saying to myself, like, where's like turkey and cheese, tuna fish,
Alli was saying
maybe a can of
too.
spaghetti and meatballs, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not even that was there, and I could remember that when
Now, if Justin has the proof of this guy being better than what already there is lies, though I think even Justin picked up on that. But if he can actually prove that he doesn't have these child bad charges, that might be something that would be good for him to work with Jose and show. Because maybe if that doesn't exist, I don't, that would be good for, it's not our right to see that, but it would be helpful for Jose. It would be a good thing. Maybe that's something that Justin will go over as well. That would be something good too. There is questions that I don't know if maybe Justin will get to, but there's a couple, like I hope, and maybe I missed it. Does he ask at all about, does he know Robin? Has Jose met Robin? Is Justin still alive?
First month that I was there, Alli was.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he knows Robin or has met Robin. I know he asked about
every
Dave
single
Dotson.
day. She would go to Walmart, all the way to Kingsport, to Walmart, and spend her little bit of money that she earns from her job, taken away from her children and giving it to Summer and the boys, because even she was eye to eye with me. These kids need to eat. Like, what's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just an incredible experience, you could say, an eye opener. It made me realize, wow, compared to these people, I'm a wonderful dad. Like I cook, I clean, wash clothes. I've even done laundry for them, and they're amazed, because all they kept saying is, Donnie, don't do things like that. Like, that man does not do anything. All he does is work, drink, come home. That's it.
Okay, could you tell us about when Don returned? How did all of that go down?
Growing boy.
Well, basically, when he was
never met
coming
Robin.
back,
Okay.
I remember Candace was telling me that, oh, he's pissed. And, before he returned, I find it kind of strange that he said he didn't know who I was until he came home.
That's right.
Because I had spoken with him on numerous occasions on the telephone while he was on his way back from Utah, and I thought everything was cool between us.
Mm-hmm.
He came home, he was calm, he didn't drink the first 2 days. On the second day that he was there, he got his old job back, was ready to return back to work, and the next thing I know, he's back into work. A couple of days later, he gets paid, fills up his fridge full.
Well, from what I saw today, Queen of Hearts, I think, like I said, Justin is keeping it together. Listen, I don't have nothing. I don't like I said, there's a couple things he said at a hot mic moment. I don't like that. But as I said, I think that the interviews are good. I think he's holding himself together much better than I could. His poker face is much better than mine. But if that's true, like he sounded like he didn't really want to interested, I think it's because listening to the live today, he even said okay, there's today's especially, it just his time, he's going back and forth. How long he was there? 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. It's varying, and that can be a lot because Justin is opening his platform and he's probably getting shit on. Well, he is. We've all seen it, right? And that's hard when Jose's on the platform and saying all these different things. Justin's probably getting bombarded while live. It's probably hard. I don't blame him if he says that. I don't know why I keep saying that. But yeah, I mean, especially in the first one. What the freak?
All this frozen junk food and beer and liquor. And right away, it took a drink.
He was there more than 3 months.
And I remember a couple of times I would be downstairs, laying down about to pass out.
He just placed himself there in this interview for 7 to 8 months. So that's a problem. And last live, he said tops 3 months. But then he said, I heard it, he said 1 month, 2 months. It went to 3 months. This first live, he says 6. He says he was there February, March. And we know he was there in October. That's 7, 8 months. So what the freak? That's probably Justin's probably what the freak, man? You can't keep your shit together from one live to another.
And I hear them fighting upstairs, and it's not like a normal fight. It's a drunk fight between two drunk people.
Yeah, when you say
And,
pass out, you mean going to sleep, right? I just want to
yes,
be clear.
basically, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, so
You just got to be
yes,
really
going to
clear
sleep
on
because
here.
at the time that he returned, I had started a part-time job, to earn a little extra money and things like that. So, it would be like almost 8 o'clock at night, 8:30 maybe, and they would be hammered, and I mean hammered. But they didn't look like they were hammered, but they were drunk. We were talking Black Velvet and a fifth of it, and they would always have a 12-pack of Mountain Dew under the table. And I clearly remember that because the minute the box opened a soda, and Candace would crack it open.
Listen, that doesn't make sense either, Jesus Loves, because if there's a U-Haul receipt for September, again, so if they went February, March, and September is way off. How can he fuck that up, right? And again, that doesn't make sense because, I mean, he was there definitely in October. He was there for more than a month. How do you get going there February or March and you forget that it was actually September? No, sorry. He was there longer than a month.
Open, Summer would come running into the kitchen. Can I have soda? Can I have soda? And I'm like, baby, you don't want juice or water? And she would be like, no, I want soda. And they would just give it to her. And I would tell them, too much soda is not good for her. She's too little to be drinking that.
We don't know that, Kelly.
But you could only say so much before you realize that what you're saying is going through one ear and out of the other.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Tracy.
Right.
And,
so when did things turn after Dawn came back? And can you tell us about that?
About a week after.
And there's pictures of him drinking too. So saying Dawn and Candace was the only ones drinking, I'm sorry, but he was definitely partying it up with Grandma and Candace.
He returned. Things started to really deteriorate with me being there. He kept accusing Candace of sleeping with me while he was gone, and things like that. When I finally saw the video that he was talking with the guy Chris from TIR, he was telling them that, she had this guy in the house,
TIR too.
and he was gay or whatever. That's a bold-faced lie. I'm not gay. I'm nowhere near that.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know what? I've said that from the beginning. I never believed that Jose was gay. Maybe he likes both. I mean, is what it is, whatever. And if we're going to believe anything that Andrew Hiltz puts out, I'm sorry, but not this girl here. I don't give a shit if it's a receipt or not. I don't. I'm sorry. But again, how do you get February, March fucked up with September? You missed a whole half a year. What? And also, I do believe that saying that Jose was gay was a way for Candace and Grandis to try to make Donald okay with the situation and easier with him being there, around them. That's my opinion. I've said that from the beginning. I never believed that he was, at least, I mean, he might be bisexual, but his sexuality has nothing to do with bringing Summer home at all. So I don't care if he's gay, straight, bisexual, pansexual, whatever it is. It has nothing to do. It was always said, in my opinion, my belief, that Jose was gay to try to make things easier so Don wouldn't lose his shit. That's what I think.
I am a straight man. I prefer women. That is my preference.
Right.
Period.
Okay.
And
that's a so you're saying where Candace and everyone said that you prefer men, that you actually are indeed straight.
Exactly. Correct.
Okay.
And I believe that they were telling him that to just ease tension, so there wouldn't be a severe conflict. But during the time that I was there helping them and stuff, they're realizing wow, this guy's here, he's renting from me, he's a good friend, helps my kids with homework, he cooks, he cleans, who is this guy? And it's nothing special. There's many of men like me who do things like that. This is what you're supposed to do.
Hold on.
These
You
are your
actually,
children. You want their...
Listen, you actually freaking subscribe for 20 minutes, name yourself my cat's name just to call me a truck stop lizard. Okay, fucking original. Yeah, I lived in the country of Minnesota. It's truck stops all around. It's actually comical that these people are subscribing for 20 minutes, making actual fucking, what do you call them, profiles to subscribe for 20 minutes just to go ahead and get blocked anyways. Like, this is the people, and then they want to come in here and try and burn me. These people have no fucking lives when you can sit there and just make account after account, subscribe for 20 minutes, and you're sitting there checking, like, has it been 20 minutes yet? Has it been 20? Actually, 19, okay, which even makes you guys look even more pathetic. And you check a couple times. Can I chat yet? Can I chat yet? Like, hello. That's why I said it's actually comical, you guys. They're really trying to hurt my feelings tonight, and it's actually fucking funny.
Well-being in your heart constantly. You want to make sure that their clothes are clean. They have a proper bed to sleep in.
For them to be doing
and I
these
get emotional
things.
talking about that because I remember, seeing them sleep on these couches, on the floor.
Dedicated trolls,
and
we
it would
need
bother
those.
me
I
a
need
lot,
the dedicated haters.
a
They
lot.
have
And I'll be
actually
like,
been
what's
making
going
me
on?
famous.
And it was always one finger's pointing the other. Oh, it's his fault. Or he would say, oh, it's her fault. They just constantly kept blaming each other instead of just meeting each other in the middle, find common ground.
Everybody is doing that, though.
Together. There was always a constant conflict. Past was kept being thrown up on each other's faces, and things like that. So,
yeah, that's
so about a week after,
right.
it started to get very heated. It was always about me, always. And my name just kept constantly flying out there. And one night, they got so drunk. This was the week that I had left. They had gotten real drunk.
Is this the night where the police came?
Yes,
okay.
Correct. And I remember that night very clearly because I was half asleep. I was literally half asleep, ready to, go into Wonderland, as you would say. And all I could remember was hearing this loud, banging thump noise, like if someone hit the ground. And I remember jumping off the bed and running up those tiny steps, and peeking out. And Candace is literally on top of Donnie. Like, don't you ever put a hand on me? And things like that.
Right,
and I'm like,
you
what?
See, okay, so he said Candace was on top of Donnie. Now, okay, like, I don't even know how you want to think of that. Like I said, they're both toxic to each other, but that's not the story we were believing before. Like, it was always Don kind of aggressive and he shoved Candace or whatever, but it sounds like she tumbled him. And as I told you guys, we have seen video calls, like, she has no problem slugging him in the shoulder or whatnot. But like I said, they're both very abusive to each other, but that's kind of somewhat a different story than we got of that night before.
Is going on? And she was telling me this asshole here is saying me and you doing something together, and I'm like, yo, we're not doing nothing. We never did anything, like, at all. And he was like, I want you out of my house. And I said, I will leave this home when your wife tells me to leave this home, because she's the one who is renting from me, and she is the one who is helping me. You were nowhere around, so you have no say-so here at the moment, especially that you took your oldest son and you ditched the rest of your family. If you could have moved to another...
Listen, now, okay, there's a problem. So Don's telling him, get out of my house, and he's saying, no, I wasn't renting from you, I was renting from your wife, Candace. Now, if I'm not mistaken, again, that is Don's land, Don's house, Don's property. Am I wrong? Like, and also that's Don's wife, Don's kids, Don's house, Don's property, Don's land. Like, why are we telling him no and that it's up to Candace? And also, it's not his job, concern. Like, is it really supposed to be Jose's concern or job or say so on what child Donald takes with him. Like, that's a whole marital issue between Don and Candace, not Jose. Am I wrong? Like, why does he feel like he gets to tell Don no and put Don in his place, and also be concerned about what child he took, and no, like, you weren't, you didn't take all of your kids and blah blah blah. Like, why does he even get to weigh in on that situation? I'm confused.
They pick up your entire family and go. Don't take one child and leave the wife with the rest, because that was wrong. And if Summer, as he said, is his world, she should have been the first one on that truck with him. When he left to Utah, not leave her with Candace, and then leave Candace with barely any money. Candace would have to call him, I need money for food, I need money to pay the light and things like that. And she would be full-blown fights with him about that. And eventually he would give in and send her a few dollars, and that was it. But it would be a full-blown fight just to get money from him, from Utah, so she could get whatever she needed for the house. So that night, after he got up and he's yelling at me, he's there drinking a beer. I don't remember what kind of beer it was. It was a brown bottle. And I started to tell him, once a cheater, always a cheater. You cheated on your wife while your wife is downstairs in the basement with your daughter, and you up here in this room where your sons are sleeping at, and you're having sex with some lady who uses drugs, and you're saying you're helping her. But yeah, I could imagine you're helping her. And I guess he didn't like the truth being told in his face, because he wound up throwing the beer bottle at me right in my face, and the beer bottle wound up breaking, and it chipped my front tooth. And I remember after that initial hit, I literally Grandis was in between us and Candace.
Okay, so are we to believe that night, is that what he's talking about? Don was sleeping with another girl while Candace was downstairs sleeping? I don't know. That's interesting.
Was behind Grandis, like they were trying to keep us separated. And at that time, that's when Donnie just shoved Candace out of the way. And I started to approach him as he's coming towards me. And Grandis is still trying to keep us separated. But, I was already, so much anger was inside of me that he done threw this bottle at me. Like, oh yeah, that's it. I'm done with this. And I wind up moving Grandis out of the way. I didn't shove her. I didn't do anything. Really? I just pressed my chest up against her. And when she felt, my force, that's when she just moved out the way, because she knew right then and there fist was going to be flying. So as Donnie went to go and throw up his fist at me, I literally walked right up to his face. I had my hands in my pocket, and I had him fold up in the fist. Names, and I said, I'm waiting, throw it, because you found the right one with me. Maybe other people are afraid or intimidated of you, but I'm not. I've dealt with people like you, growing up. And instead of him lunging at me, he started to step back and started to move back to get out of the home. And at that time, that's when Candace decided to call the police. And when she called the police, Donnie ran. He jumped in his truck. Mind you, he's drunk. He jumped in his truck and he drove away. That same night, maybe 20, 25 minutes later, the police wound up coming up the hill. And Donnie wasn't on the property at the time. And we were explaining to the police officer what had transpired there and stuff. And the police were like, do you happen to know where he went? And we were like, no. And next thing we know, Donnie's coming back up the hill in the truck. And that's when the police officers, proceeded to him, and they raised up their guns. They asked them to step forward in front of the vehicle. And that's when we were telling him he's drunk, like literally drunk. And so they gave him, I guess, whatever exam for a DUI, and in the police officer's eyes, he passed it. And then the police officer comes and says, well, in my family, we have drunks and they're coherent. So he's probably a coherent drunk. I don't care what you say. When you're drunk, you're drunk. There's no coherence in that whatsoever.
So Justin kind of just made a face right there, and I kind of make the same face at that point. The police say some weird stuff, right? Almost like, it's okay, well, he's a coherent drunk. It's okay, Jose, like, whatever. And then we've got Don saying also that police gave Candace booze the night of reporting Summer missing. Now, I don't know. Honestly, everybody's lying. And there's some things here that I actually do believe in, and like I can see what Jose is talking about. But there's a lot where I don't believe. Again, there's a lot of trying to make, especially Don, look horrible, and he doesn't need that help. Again, how many times he's drunk? He was drunk. Mind you, he's drunk. Mind you, drunk. And yeah, I've heard about the neighbors, what they say too about the house. We all know what the living conditions were. I know that's not news,
And then that's when Candace had told the police officer that he had a gun in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a known felon. And the police officer's like, what? And that's when Donnie admitted that he did have the gun in there. And he tried to say it was.
No, aluminum, I'm not sure. I don't think they would bring her a bottle of booze. I think it was more like she probably had a bottle of booze there and was drinking it, and maybe the police didn't stop it. I don't know. You can't believe anything that either one of them two especially say, right? So, it's a weird thing to say, but no, I'm going to go with at this point, no, I don't think that I believe the cops brought them alcohol. I would believe more Candace had alcohol there and was drinking it, and maybe they just allowed it to keep her calm or something. But no, I don't think that, no.
Was a muzzleloader, but it wasn't. It was like
Right,
a little 2-shot Dillinger that he had in his glove
Brandon
box.
said that about the gun.
And I'm saying to myself, this man came all the way from Utah with that gun in his glove box? Like, what do you need a gun
really?
for?
I
And you
didn't
a known
hear that
felon,
before.
Back in my past, I've been arrested, and I know for a fact I can't carry a firearm. If I do, that's a felony charge, and I'm going to prison for a long, long time. Right. So I know for him to be doing that,
right, Sam,
you have no respect at all for the law or anybody else, And they basically arrested him and charged him, I guess, for domestic violence because Candace was just crying all over the place. They had this physical altercation, and then they were talking with me, and I was telling them about me and him with the altercation, and they asked, would you, we can't ask you to press charges because you basically don't have no physical wounds on you. And I'm looking at the police officer like, dude, look at my tooth. Like, he literally chipped my tooth. And that's not a physical altercation or not to be arrested after he threw the beer bottle at me.
Now, listen, Jose, if that happened, that's not up to Candace to do something and make a report on that. Also, Mr. Macho Man Jose, if Don chipped your tooth, that could have been, that's a charge Jose would have had to do on his own. That's not, Candace can't say, I want to press extra charges because Jose got his tooth chipped in this altercation. Jose should have then, if he wanted Don in trouble for that, he would have to go file his own charge. MGL said her mod is the one who found Jose. Well, yeah, I knew it was MGL, and yeah, there's definitely, it is what it is. We don't even have to go there. It's like I said, it's pretty obvious how this came about, but it is, and she wanted Justin to make his channel and platform grow from letting him have Jose on, which is all fine and dandy. But again, I think it's good. Somebody had to have this interview, and so why not Justin? Is what it is. And again, to be honest, he probably stayed a little more calm and less, dramatic like other creators. So again, I think, good for Justin.
And nothing really happened. They wind up taking him to jail for whatever happened.
And actually, that makes me want to give a little bit of credit to Molly Golightly for actually being a good friend and not worrying about her own platform for once and letting her friend kind of, take on an interview that did well for his platform. So that's a good friend. That's a good move for a good friend to do.
happened between him and Candace.
How long did he stay in jail?
Not long, maybe 7 days, I think, tops. He was in there, I believe.
Okay.
And I remember Candace going down to the courthouse, and I was with her. Her mother was with her, all the children, and she went in there, you know, and did the order of protection, and she had it, and she had to fill out some paperwork, and me and her mother had to help her fill out that paperwork. And then she went back in. I guess they gave it to her, and she came out, and I kept stressing to her, don't let him back in. This guy, something is wrong with him. Just from this altercation that I had with him, I know for a fact, this guy is brutal. This guy has no conscience whatsoever, because you're physically abusive to a mother, a grandmother, like he admitted, she hated his guts. She had reason to hate this man's guts. You know, this man was violent. He wasn't passive. He wasn't calm, you know, and to hear these videos say, oh, he's a calm man, you know, he fits this description. No, he's a calm man in public. You should see the man behind closed doors. That's a totally different person. It's like he switches, you know, like one day he's okay, and at nighttime, it's like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde situation with him.
Okay, so we know that to be true. I mean, we all say, we've seen the mask fall. So, however, I think I don't know why he's letting Candace off the hook so much and putting it all on Don. But at the same time, we weren't living in that house to kind of know more what was going on. And I have seen where Grandma has said she's afraid of Don. But then... I'm not sure I really believe that. I mean, with what's going on recently, Grandis's interview and all that, it's all very weird. At this point, I don't even know who to believe.
You know, one point he's fine and calm.
Do you guys find that who, in your opinion, is more believable in the situation with Jose or Candace? Do you think Candace is more believable than Jose? Just this interview, you're right. The second one is kind of similar to this, but he fucks up and kind of contradicts a lot of what he was saying tonight, and doesn't say the same things as he did on this episode. How long ago? 4 days ago, this one. No, yes. Okay, put in the chat, put neither. I know, neither. Okay, out of everybody, let's see in the chat. It says 601 people. Even if you're a hater, write in the chat here. Who do we believe? We got Candace, Grandis. So we got Candace, Grandis, Jose, Don, Alli. Who do we believe out of that group? I don't know how to put a poll up here, but who do you guys believe more out of the core people who were living in that house, which is Alli, Jose, Don, Candace, Grandis? Wow, Jose. None. Jose. I believe Don more than any of them. None. Jose. None. I think altogether the truth lies. Don, if I have to choose. None. Don. Jose. Don. I plead the fifth. I believe Jose is 70% telling the truth and 30% disbelief. That's interesting, Leslie. Jose more than any. Jose, none, Jose. Okay, so we kind of got a tie for none, Jose, or Don. So we really aren't believing Candace, Grandis, or Alli at all. Oh, Janet, Alli. I believe the boys, even though I don't know what they are saying. Yeah, but I believe them. Yeah, that, Yolanda, yeah. None, they're all self-serving and minimizing the role and dysfunction. Absolutely. Jose at the moment, the others have lied after lie. JJ, I actually, listening to this now, slowing down, listening to it with all of you, I do kind of understand some of the things Jose is saying. But if you had to pick one, let's say you're being asked by investigators, like, you have to pick, who do you believe? You have to pick one. It looks as though like Don and Jose is tied. Jose, because it was another person to confirm the dynamics of the home. Jenna also, in my opinion. Jose has some truth. I think they all have some truth and many, many lies. However, it's after this interview, like today, the one that Justin did with Jose was bad. It didn't align with anything that he said in the first interview here. So that's a problem. That could be what is kind of putting, you guys said that Justin seems like he's kind of, I don't know how you put it, but fed up after tonight, which I don't blame him. It's hard, and I don't know how he kept it together and straight poker face the
And
entire
lapping it
time.
up, and in an instant, he changes to, to Jekyll, and
I
he's
did too,
raging
kind
and
of feel bad for
arguing
Justin.
and throwing things, and that's the type of man he is. And on a power trip, what he says
He's
must
not
go,
a
and
hero,
everyone
no.
must listen, and he don't care who you are.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about the thing that they would do whenever the kids were sleeping.
Yeah, this is weird.
The thing that
With the
that
shaving, the shaving.
Oh yes, there was times where it wasn't done. This was before he came, but they would play pranks on the children, and while they would sleep, they would put shaving cream
Hosanna
all over
Perfect,
them
yeah.
while they were sleeping. And I'm like, at first I had laughed because I thought it was like a get back to the kids, because the kids did that
What
to
are
their
you
mother.
talking about, Natasha? Why put this title tonight if it's not for the money? What are you talking about? Why are you talking about my title? Are you the real Natasha Taps? Because there's been a couple comments tonight that I'm like, why are you saying this? Yeah, she's blue. It's the real Natasha. Like, what the freak is going on?
Time,
Are you
and
talking
then
about
everybody in the
Justin?
house was laughing. It was funny, and the mom was laughing too. Candace was laughing about it, and she's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna get ya. I'm gonna get ya." But the kids are sleeping, and they wind up doing it to the children.
Give me 1 second, you guys. Okay. No, that's fine. I texted you, Natasha, but let's not, I don't care. If that's, like I said my piece at the beginning, and if it's for money and views, that's on him. But the interview, I'm glad that there is an interview or two with Jose, because he's like the only person who hasn't talked. So I do think it's much needed, but let's just, I mean, if he's doing it for views and money, oh well. Breaking surprise with Jose, lots of people do that. I mean, you want people to click on your video and watch your video, then that's what you do. You do, and that's what it is. It is. He had the first interview. That is breaking. What?
The Ryan Upchurch.
The Ryan Upchurch is a tag, but that's because Ryan Upchurch brought it up, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why he tagged Ryan Upchurch. Maybe it was to catch Upchurch's attention so that he would watch this interview, because Ryan Upchurch has been following the Summer Wells case and has helped in the Summer Wells case on his platform. So the tag could be as simple as just trying to get Upchurch's attention.
And it was like nothing. You know, I'll never forget that.
To watch
when Wyatt
the
had
interview.
woke up.
Fucking A, Matthias. So that's all I think it is. And it was a breaking interview. So, I mean, he was the first one. If he wants to title it like that, oh well, you know. I mean, let's not, I don't know. It is what it is. That's all I have to say. But again, oh well.
He was crying because he got shaving cream in his eye. And he was like, why are you always doing
And I'm rewinding this now because people threw me off. Fucking.
Nothing really happened. They wind up taking him to jail for whatever happened between him and Candace.
Mm-hmm. How long did he stay in jail?
Not long. Maybe 7 days, I think, tops he was in there, I believe.
What?
Okay.
And I remember Candace going down to the courthouse. And I was with her. Her mother was with her, all the children. And she went in there, you know, and did the order of protection, and she had it, and she had to fill out some paperwork, and me and her mother had to help her fill out that paperwork. Mm-hmm. And then she went back in. I guess they gave it to her, and she came out, and I kept stressing to her, don't let him back in. This guy, something is wrong with him. Just from this altercation that I had with him, I know for a fact, this guy is brutal. This guy has no conscience whatsoever, because you're physically abusive to a mother, a grandmother, that, like he admitted, she hated his guts. She had reason to hate this man's guts. You know, this man was violent. He wasn't passive. He wasn't calm, you know, and to hear these videos say, oh, he's a calm man, you know, he fits this description. No, he's a calm man in public. You should see the man behind closed doors. That's a totally different person. It's like he switches, you know, like one day he's okay, and at nighttime it's like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
So is he saying we don't really know? I think we've seen the man behind closed doors. I'm going to fast forward this a little. Do you think that we have seen the Donald that he is specifically talking about? I think we have, because he's been, you know, live how many times for months, and we have seen the home life and toxicity trickle through to the YouTube. So, or do you think that there is more that we haven't seen? Do you think there's another whole, like even a worse side of him that we haven't seen yet? Very possible. But I think that's with both of them. But he does seem protective of Candace and Alli. Doesn't he?
Yeah, more so than Dawn, that's for sure.
Definitely. So, yeah, he definitely does not like Dawn. But none of them do, it feels like.
Started to see what this man was about, that I realized, I see what type of man you are.
Angel. I
you
did
one of
have
those
that thought.
A woman's supposed to be home cooking and cleaning, and you're the only one who's supposed to command the household because you're bringing money into the house, you know? And it should have never been like that at all. He was definitely a control power freak, very much.
Yeah. Did Dawn ever have any extramarital affairs or anything of that nature?
As far as I know, yeah, absolutely. And he boldly admitted it. It's not like he didn't admit it. Of course he did. He admitted it and apologized for it and said, just let it go and let's continue from here. But when you're talking about, I would understand for you to say that when it's only one time you do it. But when you consistently do that over a period of the years that you have been together, no, I don't think so. You have no regret, no remorse, no respect. You know, to you, a woman is just a piece of meat. She's not actually a woman to you. You know, she's just something that gives you pleasure, and then you just toss it to the side when you're done and over with. And then what he would do is blame the alcohol. Well, if the alcohol is making you do that, then I suggest you stop drinking. you know, because that's not good, because your wife is here waiting for you. She loves you. She wants to be with you.
Like,
and you're
who
over here
is
having
he? Okay, I don't know who he is. Like, he's now the marriage counselor for them. Okay, let's, before we even go on, I'll go through probably the rest of this tomorrow. This is 3 hours plus today. Okay, so the notes that we took, just going over these notes without, let's just go over these notes here. What were you head bumping me? Okay. So these notes that we took listening to the interview, now we've just only got through almost an hour of the 3 hours. Baby, let's go through the notes that we took listening. What do we got between me and you? Here, I was gonna take them. Oh, I'm gonna take them.
All right. So these are Cher's notes.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Just read them out.
Yeah.
Don always said he knew Jose. Jose being at the house is why he sped home from Utah. Living conditions so horrible, but stayed renting for 6 months.
Or 7 or 8.
Or 3.
Or 3 or 1, yeah.
Says he was placed there at the house. When there was an argument, Don wanted Jose to get out. Jose tells Don no, but it's Don's house.
Yeah.
Fight night when 911 was called, Jose said Candace was on top of Donald. We heard that. Jose says he didn't know anything going on for past 9 months on news and social media, but he calls Candace's mother Grandis and says things like SA and TIR.
Yeah, that
it's
he caught quickly for Justin to just teach him overnight. That's too quick.
Well, not only the terms, he was familiar with other people's videos.
Yes.
And you can't watch that much
9
content
months.
in one night.
Yeah.
Grandis has a camper, but hardly used it apparently. That doesn't make sense either. Jose says Don never went to church, which I actually believe because he wasn't there for 9 months.
Right. Yeah.
Jose is apparently a great father with 3 kids. Where are they? Jose seems to be boasting how much better of a man and father he is above Donald. He keeps puffing himself up.
Yeah. He's got to be so much better than Donald. Why? And the whole I was placed there is kind of a weird term for me, but there's slang that goes on in, I want to say culture there, that is different. So that could be just one of those terms, is different.
Yeah. The house was packed up like Candace was moving. Don lived in Utah 9 months. Candace didn't want to move. Well, that kind of jives.
And they said Don kept saying he really wanted to move back to Utah, and he was kind of upset. Now, yeah, so there was talk about moving. So the house was packed up, it looks like, which would be maybe that's part of why the house was out of order like it was. We saw the clothes racks in the kitchen and stuff piled up. Maybe they were in the midst of moving or separating because one wanted to move and not the other, or however.
Jose said, "You found the right one with me." That was during that altercation with the beer bottle. Yeah. Jose was very disrespectful of Don.
Very.
Yeah.
Very. Timmy Ayo.
Jose said Summer's like a baby that had a baby. I think he was talking about her kitten. At the time, like she took care of it as if it was a child of hers. I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe it was a kitten thing. Has way too much to say.
Was it what? Talking past tense and getting like really emotional and stop crying really quick.
He talked about Summer past tense as well.
Yeah.
And yes, he would fake cry. He would put it on. I think Justin picked up on that too. He would put it on, like whiny, cry voice when talk about Summer. And then he'd be like right back. That always like puts me off when people do that. Like NK was the same way. Oh, what? Like, just when you can change from crying and being that emotional to just like shut it off like a switch, makes me feel weird. But narcissists can do that well.
Jose said he didn't watch or know about all social media, but then says he'd been watching Candace on live streams. Yeah, and watching the interview room and everybody else.
And he also said, he said TIR. So he knew people say TIR for short. Now, Justin would have to be an incredible teacher to make him get all of these terms and lingos and the abbreviations that we do for things, all of them, overnight.
Jose tells Candace to take the blame girl when talking about Summer.
Yeah, like he knows something.
Like he knows that she did something or assumes she did something. He's talking religiously, which he would do that once in a while, just go off and talk about.
You get very religious on Justin's interviews here and there. Yeah.
Jose was talking about a belt. I think it's his, not Dawn's.
Yes, he brought up this belt with a huge buckle, like a cowboy type belt thing that we were getting. Now that's interesting he brings that up because I believe a big belt buckle situation was also mentioned by Reverend Donna. Now I have to re-listen to Reverend Donna's thing, but she mentions that. The way he brings up the belt thing, I got more of an idea. I hate when people say that. I got more of an idea. I don't know why. I just felt like he was talking about his belt. I just didn't like that. Could be wrong. Maybe Dawn has this big belt. But the belt thing stands out to me because it did come up in Reverend Donna's reading.
Says Candace lied about walking Summer to the door June 15th. How would he know if she did or didn't when he wasn't there? Like, we don't really believe Candace did that, but like he said it with conviction.
Yeah, he did.
I wrote, he said he swung at Dawn. I can't remember when that was, but I remember him saying that.
Yeah, you were like, what? We never heard that before.
Yeah. Placed there, showing how H should be done. Bossing Dawn in his own home. Was Jose placed by the church? Possible link to Robin.
Yeah.
Sister brought him back from Mexico.
Oh, he brought up that Dawn was in Mexico and that his sister had brought him back and that he took off to Mexico for 2 weeks. When did he do this? Because again, how long then was Jose there to know about this? Like, when did he? Is he just being told these things from Candace and believing it and telling people these things that he's been told? Or was he there and knows that this happened? When did Dawn go to Mexico for 2 weeks? Why is he so upset that Dawn went to Mexico for 2 weeks and left his kids? And, he can just pick up and go do this and go do drugs in Mexico. Again, weird, right? So when did this happen? When he was in Utah for the 9 months. Was it during his Utah time? Did he leave Jose and go to Mexico? Or did he come back? Jose was still there. Did Dawn take back off to Mexico? When was this 2-week thing to Mexico? And why is he so butthurt that he done that and left Candace again? It's like, are you in love with Candace? Or like, what is happening? Like, he really has it out for Dawn and really gets upset for someone who just met Candace and Dawn, didn't know them from a bar of soap before. He gets very upset at how Candace is treated and how their married life goes and what Dawn does and what kid he takes where and where he takes off to. And like, I don't understand that at all. And also, how did he cross the Mexican border? Exactly. He's prison. Like, you can't cross the border. So when did he take off to Mexico for 2 weeks? That has to be a lie, or he illegally crossed to Mexico. Because Dawn has, since he's been what, 19 or even younger, he has been in and out of jail and prison. And for sure, his like most of his adult life. When did he go to Mexico, and why does that bother Jose so much?
Yeah.
Felons can get a passport, yeah, but not very easily. And someone like Don, no, he can't.
Public county healthcare, child support. I believe there wasn't any healthcare coverage unless he had coverage through Tucker, but it would have been expensive.
Yes, so that's another thing. And I don't know why did I write there was something I heard. Jose said he didn't. Oh, where did I write that? Oh, so healthcare comes up, and yeah, I do believe that there was no healthcare, and the reason why, again, I think that Tennessee could be different than Minnesota, but in Minnesota, I had health care through the state because I was a single mom taking care of my kids. And, well, at that time, I wasn't allowed to work. Again, my past situation. And so I had health assistance through the state. And for my kids to be covered too, if you are not married to the father of your children, and you list them, then you're all listed together as a family. Because I'm not going to get into situations and dads and stuff, but the county in Minnesota, the Minnesota works how to get the coverage for your children, you have to file child support. And the reason why is because the county wants to try and recoup some of the money that they are paying out for your medical. So they would make you do that. I don't know if it's the same in Tennessee. So Don and Candace not married. For them to have the medical through the state, which people are like, they would have had health through the state or whatever. It's my belief, and like I said, different states could have different things, that Candace, they would have made Candace file child support on Don, whether they were living in the same house or not. And I know that because that's what they wanted me to do in Minnesota for one of my kids. Even though me and the dad, we lived in the same house, we lived on different floors of the house because we were somewhat separated. But because of issues, I would stay in the base. People are fucking with our life, I think. Okay.
We just had an internet blip for a second.
So you would have to they would make you file child support to be on the health care. Because again, the government, the county, the establishment wants some kind of money back. So they're going to make you do that. And then they would then get that. They would recoup it from the child support. So that's how it works in Minnesota. And so that's why I believe that they didn't have health care, which is actually fairly common in the States. So YouTube is acting weird.
Jose keeps discussing the roaches and how horrible the living environment was while he was there. Even talks about the dogs not having enough food and water. Did Jose ever make reports on these issues? I don't believe so.
Yeah. That was my question. So maybe he was reporting. He claims everything was so bad. Was he reporting? Does he discuss that? And maybe he reporting is supposed to be anonymous, so we can't, demand to know that. But it is a question that I'm sure not only I have. You think they got food stamps again to do that and have the children involved, and thus they all did it as a family? He had a job, and I'm going to tell you that unless he has been lying to all of us, and I think Jose says he wasn't really, or no, he went to work and he'd come home from work drunk already. So again, that doesn't really fit with what I know. because especially with him having a job and being on food stamps, it is income based. So if Don made a certain amount, they might not have got it. So I don't know, but maybe also I think that the standards and stuff were probably switched for COVID time. So the past 2 years could have been different regulations and stuff to be on that kind of stuff due to COVID. I'm not sure. Every state does differ with that.
This is a big one. Jose says he didn't speak with Andrew for 3 years, but then says he spoke to him the last 2 months before leaving the Wells, putting that sometime in August, much less than 3 years.
Yeah, and he went there with Andrew. Andrew was one of the people, and he, again, brings up, I haven't talked to him in 3 years. Well, Andrew said on his own channel he just talked to him. I don't remember how long ago, but that he had talked to him. And yeah, you know, he gets to a phone sometimes in the Philippines, and, you know, he can only call once or twice a week or whatever he said. It was like once or twice a week or once or twice a month he gets to a phone in the Philippines. And he had just said, like, within the last 6 weeks, I have heard Andrew say he talked to Jose. So, and again, 3 years doesn't add up to just being there in 2021. That's not 3 years ago. We are in 2022.
Yeah, it would have been the end of 2020.
It would have been the end of 2020 into 2021. But again, he says February, March of 2021.
No, 2020.
2020, even still, that's less than 3 years.
Yeah, that's barely two, not
It's
even
less
2.
than 2 years. It's a year and a half, like
Yeah.
a year and 7 months. So, again, are we, like, I understand maybe getting off by a month or two, maybe, and because of COVID, you lose track of time, and every day is just another day when everyone's stuck in their house. I understand that. But you don't get it confused from February, March to September. You are confusing a half a fucking year there.
Mm-hmm.
And then here, you're confusing a year and a half.
Yeah, it does not work.
Just doesn't.
Robin told CM that Wells went to church there all the time for 2 or 3 years. Jose says no church when there for 6 months. Don was in Utah 9 months prior to that. Who's lying?
Mm-hmm.
I saw someone in the chat say Don was apparently only in Utah for 3 months. I have no idea.
That's
everybody's lying. Like,
Don has confirmed, and Candace has even said more than 3 months, but Don himself has said more than 3 months. He was there for at least 6 months. So, I mean, it depends who you're going to listen to, I guess. Do we believe Don? Do we believe his sisters? Do we believe, you would really have to probably ask his sisters how long he was there. Yep.
So that's all of Cher's notes.
Now we got Mr. Cher's notes.
But I'm going to be a jerk, and I'm not going to share my notes tonight. You got to tune in for my coffee stream tomorrow morning.
Ah. Yeah, and we've got more to cover. We'll be going live again tomorrow to cover, because we only got an hour. And again, now, I at this point don't give a shit what anyone is doing with their platform. If they want a successful platform, all the more power to them. But to go around and tell people, wait 2 days or whatever, this should be about summer, but certain things you say doesn't make it seem like it. Not just any one person. Many people say fucked up shit that doesn't make me feel like it's all about summer. Now, again, I don't see anything wrong with the interviews being done. I don't see anything wrong with Justin being the one to do them.
Nope.
In fact, he probably kept it together better than I could. He definitely kept it, because if it was Molly doing it, she'd be like,
Oh, God, yeah.
like that, and it takes away, right? I want to hear what he's saying, because if he's lying, and again, people are like, oh, Justin, he's lying, da da da, why are you letting him on there? that's not Justin's job. Justin has a platform where he is a content creator and a reporter. I consider some of us like reporters. Entertainment is, we are reporting to a audience or a following, a family, I don't know whatever they are called on everybody's channel. To me, you guys are like family, so
Thanks, Cheshire Cat.
Thank you, Cheshire Cat. It's not Justin's job to make someone tell the truth. Justin is a content creator who has chosen to do interviews with people, and actually how he did that interview I like, because
he was unbiased.
He was unbiased. He had a good poker face.
He was like the beard of reason without the beard.
Okay, no, but what I liked is he let him talk, though.
Yeah.
He asked some questions, but for the most part said, I'm going to give you the floor, talk. Which is kind of what I did with Don, just talk. We asked questions, but I did like that Justin just kind of let him talk and ramble. It's not Justin's job to make him tell the truth. It's only Justin's job as a interviewer and content creator to open his platform, let him talk.
Yep.
Whatever comes out of his mouth comes out of his mouth, and that's not in Justin's control, you know? Mm-hmm. So, did anyone get creepy vibes when Jose said even H fell asleep with Summer in the back of Granda's truck? Makes me wonder why he didn't stop that like Don's showers.
Yeah. Yep. That gave me a very creepy
But Jose
vibe.
is also the one that was hitting on a minor female also. Like, is he going to answer to that? He was hitting on a 15-year-old girl. Hello? Yeah. Nobody stopped inappropriateness with any of these minor children, including Alli with her son and Candace. Nobody did.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got Hunter's own grandma saying they were in a relationship. They would hold hands. They were inappropriate together. There was something going on. And then Alli saying, I'm going to punch you, Mom, and running into her house. Do we believe Alli or do we believe Grandma? Which one do we believe? Because I believe Grandma. She had nothing to gain from saying that. Mm. And she said what everybody knows. And again, we have Hunter saying, I only post pictures of me and my girl. Okay, you go to his thing. Who is he posting? Him and Candace. It's not appropriate. And also, yeah, I mean, we could just, we're getting into all the same shit we've talked about for the past 9 months. No, Alli's not in denial. Alli just doesn't want to look like a bad parent like Candace because she's no better than Candace. All these people trying to throw Don and Candace under the bus. And we got Candace talking about how shitty Alli is and doing sexual stuff in front of her kids and giving them alcohol and drugs and letting them do whatever they want and all of this. But vice versa. Them two shouldn't be talking about each other's parenting whatsoever because they're both shitty parents.
Yeah. There's no good parents anywhere.
None of them have been good parents or kept their children out of harm's way. They have all been neglectful, abusive, in every which way to these children. And to be allowing adults with your minor kids, that it's inappropriate. That's neglectful. You are allowing the abuse to happen, and you can't be that fucking dumb. Like, I'm sorry. Like, they keep saying, well, we were born into this too, right? Like I've been saying, and Don's like, well, they didn't have the best teachings growing up themselves to be good parents. So they knew what was going on. Anyways, I think he's doing coffee in the morning, and then tomorrow afternoon we will continue on with this for the people who care about me continuing on with this. And if you don't, oh well, too bad. Sorry. Thank you, Tanya, for the super chat. Thank you for all the super chats tonight. Thank you, haters, so much for subscribing for 19 minutes to come in here and try and burn me. It actually just got comical there. It's makes you guys truly look pathetic more than me. Like, honestly, you're trying to make me look bad, but it just makes you guys look
Ridiculous.
sad and lonely.
Yeah.
Sad and lonely and lifeless. Like, what time for coffee, Trulia? It's probably going to be between 9:30 and 10.
Yeah, so roughly 12 hours from now. It's not set up yet, but we'll get it
We'll
set
set
up.
it up for 9:30 Central. Yeah, so 12 hours from now, we'll get it all set up. So be watching for that. And then tomorrow afternoon, I'm not sure what time, because I do want to do a review. I've used Splat hair dye before, but I started a new channel tonight, this afternoon, because people gave me shit for doing unboxing and fashion shows with the stuff that I've unboxed. Natasha Tapp sent me a whole bunch of clothes, so I unboxed them and did a fashion show. It was fun for me, but people were giving me shit for doing it on this channel. Apparently we are not supposed to have fun and laugh and do that kind of stuff on this channel. So I created a channel to do unboxings, rants, reviews, and challenges. So that will be fun. Mr. Cher is dropping the link now to that. And so tomorrow I'm going to have Mr. Cher dye my hair purple with Splat instead of the Arctic Fox. So it's been a few years since I've used the Splat, so I'll be able to give a good review on that. And then I'll start doing my denture reviews, because my denturist gave me an adhesive that was made by Dr. Locally and wants me to do a review on that as well. So I made a platform to do that on, because the haters were giving me hate for doing that on my channel. So that's what I done. Arctic Fox, purple as fuck, but Splat was my go-to before. I think Arctic Fox lasts longer in coloring, but we'll see. We will see. All right, so there's a new channel. I'm going to hop on that sometime tomorrow, but yeah, I guess we'll be YouTubing a lot tomorrow. Oh yeah, hey haters. Here's my book on my new hormone treatments, you know, that I'm lying about. A whole freaking book of shit. So, and I'll be reviewing estrogen over there too. No, you want to do your hair too? I wanted to start a color your hair purple for summer. I don't know that many people followed through with that. Thank you. And somebody else, I didn't say thank you, but I saw CC, thank you again for that. And Just Jill, thank you. We'll see you guys tomorrow on Coffee with Mr. Cher. I'm going to set that up now. Trulia, make sure you guys check out Trulia. Will you drop your TikTok? I love her TikTok channel. She needs to start a YouTube channel. I don't think she has one. I don't know. It does last longer. Yeah. I was thinking same thing. No store box color. All right, y'all. We'll see you for the day tomorrow. Love y'all. Thanks to new members. Choo choo. Welcome to the Crazy Train. And thank you for all the super chats. And thank you to the haters. Keep hating because you're helping me. You actually motivate me. Thank you. And to all the subscribers, aka family, I love y'all. Thank you so much. I'm going back and chat for a quick minute here. All right. Good night, everybody. Love you.